All right, we're back. Good morning. I'm Ann Fawcett. I am the admission director here at MHMA Academy. Happy Martin Luther King Day. We don't have school. We don't have school, but I'm here. Today is our alternate day for the incoming 8th grade high school placement test for our day students. So we've got, I think, about 6-7 of them who weren't able to take it in December. They're coming in to take that here in a little bit. So I thought, oh, why not come in and do these Monday things, of course. So let's see. Those of you in the area, or maybe you saw it on our Instagram or TikTok, it snowed. It was so exciting. Saturday morning, I got to work the dorms, the boys' dorm Saturday morning, and the boys were like super excited, especially the boys that never seen snow. Oh my God, I love Arthur from Zambia, never experienced snow in his life. So excited that he literally went outside and just laid down and did snow angels for probably 20 minutes. He was so excited. But they all went out, they all went sledding on campus. It's awesome as we're on it. We've got some hills and we found a few sleds in an inner tube, and I know the boys had fun. I don't know if the girls actually went outside, but I know the boys had a really good time, especially international students like Arthur from Zambia. We got some boys from Mexico and from Spain that haven't really had this experience. And then I know I saw some comments from some alumni. They're like, oh my gosh, yeah, the first time I saw snow was at Moorhill Mount Academy when I was there like 30 years ago. So it's always such a good time on campus. But yeah, so we had, snow this whole weekend. It's still on the ground. I know it's supposed to warm up here in a couple of days, so it might melt, but hopefully we'll get some more here soon. So this Monday, I really want to talk about kind of our class schedule and that college prep. One of the main reasons that parents are looking at boarding schools is because they want their child to be prepared for college. Not just the things that you learn in the dorms, and those life skills and how to interact with people and chores and responsibility and being independent, but also, on the academic side. I probably haven't found a single boarding school that has not said that they're college prep. So what makes us different, I guess, is the big thing. And what really separates us is our class schedule, and how it's designed and how it functions and how it prepares a student for college, and how we figure out where the classes are, what times they are, how long they are too. So a lot of times at schools, it's a very traditional, you have 7 classes. You either kind of do 2 different things. Usually you have about 7 classes, maybe 8, 1 through 7, 50 minutes long each day, lunch somewhere, and every day is the same. So if you are terrible at getting up in the morning and chemistry is your first class every day, you might struggle just because of that. And then if you don't have an actual study hall built in, which most kids don't have that luxury of a study hall built in. I know when I was in high school, I don't think I had one until my junior year. And so if you don't have that built in, sometimes those busy assignments, they start to stack up. Even if it's something that really only is going to take you 20 minutes, it starts to stack up. And, after school, that's when you got your extracurricular activities, and then you've got your dinner. And then, fortunately, if you're a boarder, you've got structured study hall time, but there's some free time and there's some time that you want to hang out with your friends. But then it's lights out at 10:30, you're going to bed. And so, you might not be able to have enough time during the day to get that stuff done. And where we see sometimes our local or day students doing homework until 1 a.m., but then they come back to school really tired. So we also incorporate a kind of like a study hall time. It's called individual learning time built into our schedule that I'm going to show you guys. And then on the other side, there are schools that do like the block schedules. And so I think you're still taking, I believe it's like 7 or 8 classes, but it's an hour and a half and you kind of rotate it each day. But an hour and a half, I go crazy. Like, I'm sorry. I would go crazy. Now we do have classes here for 85 minutes, but it's not every day. But I mean, even myself, I'd probably go crazier as a teacher, like planning that long of time. That is difficult. That can be hard. So those are usually ones that I see. What we have here, though, it's called a flex mod schedule, or I usually just say it's a Morehill Mound Academy schedule because I haven't seen it anywhere else. But how the schedule is designed is, to prepare the kid for college. And in a sense of how to really do time management skills, how to just keep on your toes, changing up every day a little bit, but your weeks stay the same. That's kind of like what it is. Now, as far as like the content and curriculum, yes, absolutely. We are college prep. 100% of our students get accepted into colleges and universities around the world, not just in the United States. And unless usually the student goes into, every once in a while we have a student go to tech school or maybe straight into the military, but pretty much 99% of our graduating seniors go into some sort of 4-year or maybe a couple times a 2-year school. And so, and it's all over the place. So clearly, our students are prepared. They are getting accepted into schools. They're getting accepted into top 200 US, top 200 world and US colleges and universities around the entire world, like I said. And, but they're also on the other side of that is they're graduating. They are graduating from here and they're graduating from college. We don't really know. It's hard to track, like if they're graduating in 4 years or 5 years. I know that's a little bit difficult for us to track, but they are graduating. The dropout rate of first year freshmen is about 60% nationally. And our students aren't doing that. They are finding the right fit for themselves. They're finding the right degree. We've handed them the tools. Basically, this is how you're going to succeed. This is how you need to go find help. This is how you need to advocate for yourself. This is how you need to talk to your professors. And they're doing that, and they're doing extremely well. So if you meet any of our alumni who are in college, they're doing really well, better than most of their peers. And then even and they're transitioning after they graduate to life and being extremely successful. So I want to show you guys what it looks like, because it is sometimes hard to explain. I've asked students like here, how do you explain this? They said, well, and the best one that I got was, well, if you don't like a class, you won't have it once a week. And then another time you only have it 25 minutes. There you go. But on the flip side, if you love a class, you get to see your professor 4 times a week, and you get to at least one of those times it's 85 minutes and dive into more depth in whatever the subject material is. So our curriculum, you have 7 classes. So you still have 7 classes, 7 subjects. Our 5 core are math, science, English, social studies, and religion. And then you get to choose 2 electives. Now, a couple of those electives, there are some requirements in itself. If English is your first language, so you do have to take a foreign language class. Where if English is not your first language, your ESL classes can count towards that. And then we do require art or some class within the fine arts. We have a lot of options. And then we do require PE and health. Otherwise, we have a lot of electives that you can choose from. We even are always adding and incorporating some of the classes from Benedictine College into the class schedule here. And then some of our students have taken advantage of Highland Community College that's here in town that does actually have some online options. And they're still doing their work here. We try and build it into their schedule so that it's here in case for some reason they need some help, or we want to make sure they're getting that credit. And so those are some of the things. And then your kind of 8th class that is not really a subject is that individual learning time, or ILT. So if you visit here and you hear students and everyone's saying ILT, you're like, what is this? It's basically study hall. So we build it into the schedule so that you not only have a little bit of ILT, individual learning time, just for yourself, but within your subjects, once a week, you do get a really nice 25 minutes of individual learning time with your teacher. And that is your time to be like, all right, I need help on this. I don't understand this. I've tried this. It might just be a quick individual thing. It might be a group thing. It might be an entire class thing. It might be going over a test, whatever it is. That is your time. And so if you also visit campus, you'll notice that our teachers aren't really assigned to specific classrooms. They kind of have a home base within 3 locations. And so you'll see them in little carts wheeling around. And so basically we have our library, we have a study hall, is what we call a study hall room. And then we have what we call classroom 3. Now, these 3 locations are where we place our teachers. So they have a desk there, it's their home base. And then we also group them by subject. So we try and do English and social studies all together. We have math and science together. And then we have a little bit of our modge podge of like our art, foreign language, and religion together. And so, that's how we try and group our teachers together. So what it does when you visit, if you visit a campus, it's a lot easier to kind of imagine this, is what it does is that you first, when it's your time, okay, I've got individual learning time next, I got my ILT, go to the library, I'm going to check in. You can stay there, or if you want, you can go over to classroom 3, where maybe Mr. Knoll is because you need help with algebra. And that's your time to just go meet with him and get some extra help. And so what it does is the students don't realize it is that we're kind of like steering them towards their teachers, and forcing them to, you're in the same location as them. You need help. What should you do? Takes the freshmen a little while, and we help. We help the students out. Mrs. Korbelik in the library is really good about, hey, did you get your homework done? What missing assignments do you have? Why are you watching YouTube channels? Just making sure that they're staying on track and they're doing what they're supposed to do. And mostly a lot of times freshmen kind of just stay in the library because they don't know what to do. They're freshmen. It's okay. But then after that, they start to be like, oh, I can go over here. I can go over here. I can go get help. Yes, I do need help. Okay, my teacher is not scary. This is great. And it helps them. And so that's how, we know that we're college prep, but how can we take that college prep another step forward? And that's what we did. And we did that with our class schedule. So what I'm going to show you is, it is on our website. We have a great example so you can see it, because again, visually, it usually is a lot easier. So I'm going to show you guys. So let me share my screen here. So this is just our home page. So if you go to MHMA.com, and then if you click on academics, you're going to see you've got options in curriculum, academic counseling, English as a second language, because that all falls under academics. If you do click on our curriculum, it is going to show you, our curriculum overview, how many credits we require, what are the required courses, like I said. If you are wanting the Regents Honors Diploma for Kansas, there are extra requirements and what the requirements are for your GPA. And then it'll also show you our honors, advanced placement, and college credit courses that we have. And then our electives as well. So we have a lot of different elective options. And like I said, we are always trying to work with Benedictine College to add more options there, because they have 52 majors now. They got a lot. So a lot of different options, so we can hopefully get some more like general classes and that builds up college credit for the kids. And then your service hour requirements. But then if you go on over to academic counseling, this kind of dives deeper into what we really provide. So, and how we are different. And the MHMA schedule, because again, like I said, I haven't really seen this anywhere else. And so here we have an awesome example of, this is a freshman example. And so as you can kind of see, every day, so it's a lot of color, every day is a little bit different. So like I said, your day might start a little bit different. It might end a little bit different. it depends, you're a morning person, or if you're not an afternoon person or whatever it is, we want to keep the students awake and on their toes. And so you're coming, but every week stays the same. So you come in Monday, you're super excited. You got biology right off the bat from 8 to 8:55. Then you're going to jump down to Honors World History for just a quick 25 minutes. Usually these 25-minute classes, it's not really going to be a heavy lecture. It's going to be, all right, we've got this project, let's get it done. What questions do you have for the test coming up? All right, let's do a quick reading. Let's get this reading in, or getting to know one another, or do little like group projects within the class. And then you're going to have, like I said, you're going to have longer periods where it's an hour and a half. So you've got your PE, that's an hour and a half here. On Wednesday, your Spanish is an hour and a half. And so your day just flows like this. And then see this blue is that individual learning time. So that's your time, your ILT time to get the busy homework done, study for a test, go meet with a teacher, whatever it is. There really is no excuse for ending your day and still having those quick assignments. Like if basically the only time that you can say, I didn't have enough time to do this, was if you had basically that your one day where you didn't have your ILT. And so for at least from the boarding student standpoint, your study hall in the dorms is really learning how to study, how to organize. Let me go back through my notes for Mr. Kuniki's class. I really need to rewrite these and make sure I've got them correct. Let me go back over that reading one more time. I don't think I quite understood my bio homework. That's really what it is. This is, and so when we started implementing this schedule, it took a little while, it took some tweaks. We're into our 6th or 7th year now, and I think we're really going well. But what we really saw was a huge increase in extracurricular participation, because kids got some stuff done. And then after school, they're like, oh my gosh, I actually can do this, and I don't have to freak out about all the homework that I have. And they could go to practice, or they go to, play practice, sports practice, do their student club activity, whatever it is. And so now over 80% of our students are involved in 2 or more activities, which is amazing. So it just kind of flows day by day. And then if you remember me talking about the house system, or last week, if you listened to Hamilton talking about the house system, we want to build in times for that as well, because the house system, since it's not like these physical houses, it's really more like the groupings of the students, that you need time during the school day to really get to know one another and, complete things, like whether it's projects, community service things, competitions, whatever it is. So we build in these times. So you've got your house meeting, which says house meeting, your entire house, like 45 kids is meeting. This is family meeting. Sometimes it's just with your family. So like 12 to 15 of you guys, and that's just you guys and your family leader is organizing that. A lot of times on this Friday, this family meeting on Friday is an opportunity where we can bring in guest speakers. We can bring in different colleges to talk about different programs. We can bring in, I'm trying to think, what else have we done? Incorporated. We've done house competitions. We've done community service projects around the campus, quick things. So it's a great time that's already built into the schedule. And then as you can see, lunch is taken at the same time. And then every Wednesday, 11 a.m., we have all school mass. And the day ends at 3:25. But what's nice is that as it goes, it really just keeps you on your toes, and you're not dragging through the day. Like all of a sudden, like, oh, wow, I only got 1 class left. This is great. I mean, and you're engaging in the class. You're constantly, asking more questions. We're seeing more participation in classes. We're not seeing students fall asleep in classes. So this is how we elevate that college prep. Like I said, I don't think I've met a single boarding school that doesn't say they're college prep. I mean, pretty much any high school nowadays is a college prep, but what's the difference between them all? This is our difference. And this gives our students that edge for when they graduate, because when they go to college, you don't have class at 8 a.m. all the way straight through 3:30. You might have a break somewhere. Okay. So if you went to a different school, what are you going to do during that break? I'm going to go take a nap, which I'm not gonna lie, I took lots of naps too, because I didn't have this type of schedule in high school. But you come with this type of schedule, and you know that you've got an hour here before the next class, and you know that you're involved in all these other activities, and you're like, oh man, I got to finish this assignment. Oh yeah, I'll just go do this. So instead of go back to my room, I know I'm going to go to the library, I'm going to go to a nice sitting place, and I'm going to get this done. And that's what our students have learned in high school. So it transitions into college and keeps them on a successful path. So again, you can find it under academic counseling, the MHMA schedule, and just the example there. And so, like I said, the visual is a little bit better. These are all basically freshman classes. So this is kind of an example of a freshman track, but basically the same thing. Like, so when you guys actually visit, we don't really have too much of a bell system. You just kind of know like, oh, yep, everyone's getting out. You got 5 minutes to get to your next class. It's enough time in this building to get to your next class. So you don't really need to carry all your heavy books and backpacks around everywhere. And then we have more description of what under the student support individual learning time is. Now, if you don't use it properly and you're falling behind in classes, you're watching YouTube or whatever, you're on your laptop, you're not doing your job, and your grades start to fall, this can turn into either mandatory learning time or structured learning time. That is when you report to the library, but then you have a specific place that you have to go because you have stuff to do and you have a specific teacher assigned to you. So usually it is Mrs. Peisch, who you're assigned to. She goes online into PowerSchool and says, all right, yep, looks like you're missing this, 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 and this. We're going to get it done. And so, there are students that they need a little bit extra help, and that's how we help them. And so they get that done. And then once they get their grades back up, eventually it goes back onto individual learning time where it's like, all right, you've earned our trust back. You've gotten back on track. Let's see if you can do this on your own again. So we always make sure that we have a safety net under all of our students. And then just a list of a couple of our special courses. So yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing. So if you saw our TikTok and Mrs. Korbelik, you want this, but you're in this. In order to do this, you need to do this. That's what she was talking about, the ILT and then the SLT, because if you want to be independent, but you're in the structured learning time, that means you're probably not doing your homework. So that means you got to do your homework to get back into ILT. So we can help any student that really comes in. Our goal here at Morehill Academy is, even if you start here, another kid starts here, we don't care. Both of you guys, we want to know after at least one semester, you're rising, always continuing to rise and get better and better and better. That is what we are here to do. So go online, check out our MHMA schedule. If you have any questions, let me know. Come visit, because then you'll kind of see it in person and see like how the rotations are, where the students go, how kind of those spaces work, where the teachers' desks are, and talking to the students and seeing, how accessible they are to the kids and everything. So I hope this was helpful. Hope you realize now we've got an edge more on the college prep side. Again, my name is Ann Fawcett. I am the admission director. Thank you so much for joining me. Next week, we will have Enrique Perez, who's from, he graduated in 1997. He's from Campeche, Mexico. And so he's going to be on and just sharing about his experience and how Morehill, at the time, Morehill Prep, but Morehill Med Academy, really helped him out and, put him on his path to success and everything. He's a really great guy, and I'm super excited that he'll be joining us. So